Alright, we're back. I didn't change too much. Hopefully it will be fine. I guess I'll have to restart the game if that doesn't fix it. Let's go for a proper multi-T run without using strange tactics that makes a lot of noise. And see if we can get this artifact going. There really isn't any fuses there, no. Okay. This nail gun has a lower proc chance than what you have using the rebar plunger. I think it's 0.7 proc chance, proc coefficiency as it's called. And whenever you stop shooting, as you can see, you do a shotgun, but you have higher DPS by just holding down, and then whenever you have to run away, you release it and let the shotgun hit the target, and then you run away, right? Also, it's a bit easier to hit imps when they're far away. We want to take the armor here. We're not really gonna bother with the armor printer since we're multi. We have a lot of armor. Since there are a lot of chests here, we're gonna stay around here for a little bit. We're looking for bleed like on most attack speed characters. We can proc rings easily by just swapping to a rebar and shooting once to proc them, and then we just keep the DPS up with this, so that's really good. Stuff like ATGs and ukuleles are not that strong because you don't deal a lot of damage with these. I mean, you'll proc them often, but they'll deal less damage, so it ends up not being anything too special. I mean, they're good, you're gonna pick them up, but if you have to pick between an ATG, a ring, and a ukulele, you're gonna pick up the ring. Like, even if you have to stack them, because the ring is just way more consistent. You can force it, and it deals way more damage. And on top of that, if you have two ATGs, the ATG, or if you have one ATG with crit chance, if it crits when you have one ATG, or if you have two ATGs, it will proc a ring. And if you proc those ATGs using the nail gun, it should deal less damage than if you proc it using a rebar. I think that's how it works. If it's different, I would love it if somebody told me, but that's how I understood the system to work. Basically, the rings proc if you deal 400% of your damage, and the ATG deals somewhere around 180%, I think, stacking. And you need to deal 400 to proc the rings. And since the ATGs deal based upon your main attack, it deals way less, right? That's how it makes sense in my head. It might actually just scale from your base damage. I'm not sure, so you should double check all of these things, but yeah, I usually just like it won't make that big of a difference, right? It won't be a run under. Maybe if you're going for Mithrax, you might wanna min-max these things, but even then, if you're facing Mithrax and you get to the phase where he steals your items, I'm not sure if I've shown you that phase yet, but in the final phase he steals your items. If he has two ATGs then and rings, then you're probably dead. Because if he hits you and procs an ATG, and that I'm still in the mindset of our last run, then that ATG is gonna chase you down no matter what. It's heat seeking, you can't dodge it unless you have a lucky best friend proc. Right, and if the rings proc, then he's just gonna deal a shit ton of damage, because he most certainly have a lot more damage than what regular characters do. But if you're just looping, playing regularly, you don't really have to think about those things too much. It might be unoptimized if you proc the rings from an ATG other than your rebarb, but you're still just gonna be shitting on mobs at that point, so it doesn't matter. Uh-oh. There we go. Ukulele. Alright. So as you can see, the ukulele deals a lot less. It deals like 10. But if we proc it using this, just need to actually proc it. It should deal a lot more. It should deal like around 100. Yeah, 84, as you can see. And I'm pretty sure ATG follows the same idea. So they scale off the attack you do, not your base attack as a character. Because every character has a base attack stat, right? Because all of these attacks scale from that attack. So you deal 60% of your base attack. Your base attack goes up every time you level, and that's why you get more damage. And all of your abilities deals based off. I wonder if, and maybe that means that an ATG procced from the nail gun, you might need 3 ATGs actually to proc the rings. I am not 100% sure on how that works. It doesn't really matter in the end. You don't need to know a lot of these things in order to just win. They're good to know if you wanna, in those like 1 in 1,000 runs when you have to make these choices. And I personally just feel we're still having the lag, so I guess I'm restarting the game later. I just enjoy knowing these things about games because it makes me seem kind of smart. Which doesn't really help you a lot in the real world, let me tell you, having a lot of game knowledge, but what can you do? It's fun. And I mean, why would you watch me if I didn't... Why would you watch me if I didn't provide you with any kind of knowledge about the game, right? Not that funny, so I should at least be able to tell you a couple of like gameplay theories. If we fail this one more time, we get an achievement. So I'm gonna be inefficient and farm for it. This is straight up bad if this pays out right now for us. Especially if it pays out with a white item, because it's just gonna be a really expensive regular chest for us. Please. Ah, at least it's a green item. And it's a red whip. Great. We have to remember that we don't have too much healing. Medkits are really, really strong to stack on, I would say, on pretty much every character, if you can stack them a lot. You need like 6+ for in order for them to be really strong. So it's pretty much you have to find a printer. But they're quite decent. Having 2 secondaries is nice, but it's not really game changing like it would be on Artificer or on Commando if we had our other right click, or Huntress for that matter. But having 2 is nice because you can deal a lot more crowd control. And you drink, that's fine. If we found a medkit printer, the attack speed is nice, but if we found a medkit printer right now, I would straight up print it. Monster Tooth. I mean, Monster Tooth is good too because it's percent healing. It's just that when we need it, we won't be able to kill enemies too much. It's only effective if we kill a lot of enemies beforehand. But the healing orbs doesn't stay on the floor for too long, making it kind of bad. I mean, it does heal a lot. Is it worth trading the attack speed? That's like the one thing you have to consider. What is it? 6 Monster Tubes worth our attack speed? Assuming it takes the attack speed on our first take, and the first aid kit and the repulsion armor. Both of those are decent, right? We might try it just for science and stuff. This is bad, we can't really get away from it, but we're so tanky, so we should be fine. He heals a lot, because there's a lot of monsters around, and we don't really have too much AoE clear yet. We do have a lot of single target though, as you can see. Since we're so tanky, we can just keep this up. Hopefully he doesn't turtle again. Here we go. Let's start printing these. And just see. This would have been good on the last run when we had Aegis. Just because if you have a lot of healing, Aegis becomes really strong, like I mentioned earlier. That is not the case right now, though. Okay, we're actually gonna stop here. We got to keep the attack speed and we got to keep the mag, that's really good. I'm not willing to risk a 50-50 on the attack speed. I would rather have one more monster tooth than that extra mag, but I'd rather keep the attack speed. The attack speed is worth 2 or 3 items, right? It's worth 2 monster tooths, at least. Knowing these things, like, it's almost never a certainty, and even if I feel this way, you might feel differently. You might have a lot of more success with monster tooths than I do, so you might want to just go for 6 monster tooths in that case. And the only way you can know that is by playing a lot, watching a lot of videos, and just, you know, comparing and deciding for yourself. You should, like, dying in this game is something that's gonna happen. It's a roguelite. Like, you're given to die, especially if you don't know how the items work. So you should just accept it. We have a fucking tri-tip dagger printer here, so we're just gonna go for this. This is worth everything to get 100%. We need a few more tri-tip daggers, I think. It might be 100% if you have 7 on multi, but since we have lower proc coefficiency, I'm pretty sure you need like 10 in order for it to be 100%. We only have 6 right now. Now we have no survivability, so we need to be a little bit more careful. We might want to stay a bit on this stage, even though it's scary, and just see if we can find a healing chest, because if we get Abyssal Depths specifically as next stage, then we might die if we have no healing. Yeah, as you can see, we don't have 100% right now. Also, our accuracy is a bit bad, because the nail gun accuracy is bad, right? So on smaller targets, it's hard to keep the bleed up. You don't need to keep the bleed up that much on those targets, to be fair. It's only on the bosses that and like mini bosses that you need a lot of stacks in order to kill them. What's that? Shatter Spleen. Okay, so if you get a boss drop here. Oh, do we keep the attack speed? Yes, I think. Do we keep the gasoline? Do we 50-50 it? I think we 50-50. If we get to keep the attack speed, that's great. I should have done this before picking up the attack speed. Okay, and now we're gonna print once more, because the gasoline isn't as worth as having 100% bleed chance. As you can see, we're not having 100% bleed chance right now. It doesn't proc all the time. So we need a few more on multi. I'm pretty sure around 10 would be like the good number on this character, but we should be fine with 8 too. We don't need to overstay our welcome on this stage. Getting a Shatter Spleen would be really good here. So if this Grow Tender drops its boss item, we're gonna go and print that. You should always take a Shatter Spleen if you have the chance. And the Molten Perforator coming in second. And as you can see, we're stacking bleed like crazy. And this is not even with 100%, and we don't have any attack speed items. This is why but I'm dead anyways, because we threw away all of the healing, of course. You don't need 100%. Like, that's why the nail gun is so strong. We're gonna swap character here. Do we do a loader run? I guess. Let's try loader with fuse. I don't think this is gonna be good, but I haven't played Loader for a long time now. I haven't played her anything since I last recorded. I've only been playing new characters because I already have everything unlocked on this. Already had everything unlocked on this character when we played. Bleed doesn't do anything, so we're gonna grab the Monster Tooth. You can get Monster Tooths when you're charging through enemies. I don't think it's 100% consistent. I don't think you always get it from the target you kill, but especially if you have something that helps you kill in an AoE, so a band for an example. You will kill enemies in front of you and they will drop their healing orbs while you're in the animation. I'm still fucking lagging. I should have restarted the game. Oh well, we're fine. It's not that bad. Just obnoxious. We have a chest here. We can just go back here after we kill the boss. Alright, so how's your day going? Like I said, I haven't recorded. I actually missed recording for a couple of days. I wanted to wait until all of my uploads were done before I scheduled them for a week, right? I wanted to wait for all of them to be live before recording this session, just to see if there were any comments or like if things were going good, etc, etc. Everything seems to be good. I haven't really looked at them a lot because watching your own videos can be quite exhausting. There's very few people that can listen to their own voice, especially in a recording, and not feel weird about it. It takes a lot of time getting used to. I don't want to take damage here. I might die here. Let's try to block it using this. We don't, we die. That sucks. Not really much we could have done there, honestly. I needed to play more carefully around the explosion, I guess. Just bad luck with the stage. Like, Loader's designed so that she survives that, right? But not with the fuse. Making it a bit harder. Yeah, there has been, I think there's gonna be 2 days of no uploads. That's not gonna mean anything to you right now because this is gonna be uploaded like 4 days from that. I don't think there's enough of you people that honestly care if I miss a couple of days, but for me personally, I feel like I should try to make it at least 1 upload per day. At least. I feel like there should be 1 upload per day, no breaks, and since I can just schedule them, that should work fine. It's just that I don't want to schedule too many, right? In case somebody decides to leave a comment. I don't want there to be like 20 episodes between the comment and me reacting to it in the video. Of course I would respond to it in the video comment section too, of course, but I personally feel like it's more fun if your comment gets responded in the actual video that you're watching. So we're gonna go for the tougher times here, of course, because of our views dilemma here. Both of my parents' birthday were yesterday. I intended to record yesterday, but I miscalculated the time. I actually thought it was Friday yesterday. It's Saturday. It was Saturday yesterday. So I thought I would have 1 more day before their birthday. I had a bit of a shitty sleep schedule too. I woke up at like 5 in the afternoon. So I decided to just take the day off not gaming. I just spent it with my parents and some of their family visiting. We ate a bit of tacos and I just recuperated, tried to go to bed early. I read a bunch and I put a alarm clock for today so that I didn't oversleep too much. I'm taking sleeping medicine currently. It's antidepressants and it helps you with sleep, and it makes me sleep a lot. Unless I have alarm, I sleep for like 12 hours unless I have some kind of alarm. So it's kind of annoying, and I personally don't like alarms a lot. I stress out a lot because it puts like I try to schedule my sleeping in my head when I'm trying to sleep, which if you have any kind of anxiety problems or anything like that, you know what I mean when I say that's really, really hard to deal with. But yeah, I have to go to the dentist tomorrow, so that's just something that I have to deal with for now. I'm also leaving. I'm gonna go visit my brother next weekend, and he lives about 6 hours away with the car. I'm leaving with my mother. It's his birthday. His birthday is 1 week from my parents. Both of my parents have their birthday on the same day. Then my brother 1 week after, and I haven't visited him for a while, so I decided that I'm gonna go over with her this time and visit him. And when we're leaving for that, we need to leave super early because we're just gonna go down there and stay there for 1 day and then leave the next day. So we're leaving early Saturday morning next week, and we're getting home on Sunday evening. And since we're only staying there for like 1 day, we need to leave super early. So I need to get my sleeping schedule. I don't want to arrive there and be super sleepy because I haven't slept anything because of being in the car. So I'd rather just wake up and be happy going in the car, I guess. So that's kind of what my life looks like right now. If you're wondering, I don't really do anything else. I don't have any kind of work or anything because I'm struggling with anxiety and depression, but that's nothing you really have to worry about. It's just I have a lot of free time on me, so I'm gonna try to spend that time recording me when I play video games instead of just playing the video games. Oh, we get 2 of these. Genesis loop doesn't really do too much because we have the fuse. So our fuse is gonna explode before this procs. But if we find another printer, hopefully we get molten perforator. The shatter spleen won't really do too much on loader. Bleeds don't scale off your base damage. They just have a set amount of damage that scale up with stacks, I'm pretty sure. Maybe they do scale with your attack, but they don't. You need to stack them in order for them to be effective, right? Making them pretty useless on loader. Unless you're doing some kind of balls to the wall left click playstyle, but why would you be playing loader then? Then you should be playing mercenary, probably. I guess the barrier is helpful, but yeah. If you have that kind of playstyle, I would love to hear what you do to make it work. I could try that out, actually. I wouldn't mind. Okay, there was a bunch of chests over here, right? In the try shop. Or did I take it? Maybe I grabbed it. I didn't. Having 1 or 2 backup magazines is really good because it helps you move around a lot easier. Having an extra right click after using your utility skill is really strong. I did take the fuse, right? Yeah. Okay. So next stage, we have to force abyssal depths. Might actually be the case that the game goes to abyssal depths if you're carrying the fuse no matter what, but I'm not sure and I'm not gonna double check. So we're gonna force a bazaar, and I'll show you how to force the abyssal depths if you get a bazaar. Probably medkit here. We already have 1 backup mag, so I'm not that worried. Having some kind of healing would be nice. Chances are we're gonna get knocked down to 50% anyways if something strong hits us. So honestly, just actually stacking some kind of health, that was a really bad stutter right there. It's really strange. It didn't do this. Like, I checked everything that's going on the computer. I don't really have anything up right now. It would be the recording, I guess, but I'm recording to a different hard drive. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem. And I shut my computer down regularly. I shut it down whenever I go to sleep. So it's not like it's been up and running for too long. It's bothersome. It's worrying me whenever my character stutters like that. Especially, this game ran fine. Like, it ran fine last recording, I'm pretty sure. We're grabbing the focus crystal there. And we're definitely printing a band here. If we get any green items on this stage, we want to print bands here. Bands being the strongest item on loader. I need to stop going back into those. I guess we're just doing the event. Maybe I should have kept the tome for a little bit, just to get a little bit of gold out of it. We have to remember that there's a printer back there. Oh, what's this? Queen's Gland. I wouldn't do this unless I was carrying the fuse. I would say the Genesis loop is more effective than in Queen's Gland, but the Beetle Guards can tank a few hits for us before stage 4. So that's why I'm taking it. This is why the bands are the strongest item on this character, by the way. Ridiculously consistent. It's dead here. And now we just need to do this. We get another Queen's Gland, so we're having a Beetle Guard harem. That kind of sucks. I really wish it gave us a green item, but what can we do? I'm pretty sure there's a rule in my on my Steam profile for this game that if there's a Queen Beetle, it has to drop a Beetle Guard, especially if I'm playing multiplayer, and extra especially if there's a bunch of Challenge of the Mountains. I've had several runs with my friends where we had like 3 or 4 mountain shrines, and all of them decided to fucking... We got like... We had one run when we had literally like 9 or 13 Beetle Guards. When we went to Mithrax. If you want to know, by the way, the Beetle Guards can't path on that stage. So they're useless, and once he steals your items, he gets the Beetle Guards himself. Sometimes it's not super consistent, sometimes they just don't respawn. Making this item really bad. Like, it's even more useless than if it would actually work the way it's intended to. Even if it was working fully as intended, it would still be a really bad boss item. But it's not even working consistently. But yeah, I mean, it's a small problem in a game as good as this one. Any game where you play where you have more than like 5 hours, more than 10 hours maybe, I would say. You can spend 10 hours on a game and then feel like you didn't spend it worthwhile, especially if it's a story game. But I feel like this game, like, you get your money's worth. I've got my money's worth. I got my money's worth before it was released in 1.0, and I'm still getting my money's worth out of it. I feel like a lot of people have like strange ways of calculating how much a game is worth. Because if you compare it to something like watching a movie, if that's something you do regularly, if you like going to the cinema, for an example, you spend what, like maybe 20 euros on a movie, maybe even more, maybe 22, 25. And I would say that's like, if it's a good movie you're watching, you're getting more than that money is worth watching the movie. I would easily spend like 40 to rewatch Lord of the Rings for the first time or something like that, right? And a lot of people take that, and that's like, most movies are like 2 hours, right? And they are usually worth your time in a cinema, if you're a movie buff, that is. A $60 game, a lot of the time, is like, you spend more time. If it's a bad game, then it's a bad game, of course, but people say that stuff like Diablo 3, for an example, is a bad game that wasn't worth their money, but they've spent like 1,000 hours in the game and they no longer find it fun. Those kind of people, like, I don't understand that mindset, because like, you spent so much time with that game. You couldn't have spent over 1,000 hours in a game and still felt like it was bad. I've spent 6 hours in some $60 games and I felt like those were worth it in the end, if the story was good or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, weird tangent. I need to not take damage, would be very useful. What's that? Gasoline. Okay. I probably want to open a couple of chests here, since this is a good third stage. Bleed doesn't do anything. Is that focus crystal? Yeah. I'd rather keep my stuff. I already have 1 focus crystal, so we're pretty fine. The only thing that I would really want to print would be the bleed dagger, tri-tip dagger. But we don't have a scrapper. Even if we had a scrapper, it would take some time to get there. We're gonna grab another focus crystal here. Focus crystal is more consistent damage than armor piercing rounds is. And we have a couple of chests around this. Alright, I need to force... Okay, so what you wanna do is you wanna find a Newt altar, right? I'm pretty sure this map has one guaranteed up here somewhere. I think. I don't think I've ever been. Maybe I've been at it one time. Let's have a look around as my game setters. There it is. So this should always be here. If you're playing loader, it's really easy to get up here. If you're not, then you might need a couple of more items. This will force a bazaar, a blue portal, to appear once the event is over. I've done this once, I remember unlocking the artificer, but doesn't hurt talking about it again in case you missed that episode. If you somehow found your way to my channel at this specific episode, then here you go. I want to use my ring procs on the boss. There you go. Oh, we got a monster lung, that's good. I'm happy about that. Kill imps. My beetle guards. Oh, we got a shatter spleen on fucking loader. Thank you, game. Why didn't you give me that on on multi? Oh well, we died on this stage on multi anyways, so doesn't matter too much. Not sure if I picked up Shatter Spleen earlier. I think I did. It's probably the strongest item in the game right now. If you can get a decent amount of crit. It stacks bleed. It stacks a separate bleed from tri-tip daggers. So if you both have tri-tip daggers and Shatter Spleen, you'll deal 2 bleeds per hit. If you have 100% crit and 100% tri-tip. I feel like Shatter Spleen bleeds tick for more, but I'm not certain. I've honestly never gotten a run where I only have a Shatter Spleen. I haven't really paid attention that much. It doesn't matter. The strongest part about Shatter Spleen is the bleeding enemies will explode. The explosion deals 400% damage, so it procs your rings, and it deals 15% of the damage that you're exploding, the monster that dies, that 15% of that monster's health. So if it's a boss monster that you're bleeding, which is usually the case, right? It explodes. I'm pretty sure the explosion is larger because that character model is larger. I'm not certain on that. It seems like that way, but I'm not certain. And that bleed, that explosion that it does is massive. Okay, so we went into the blue portal on stage 3, so now we have these streams here. They cost 3 Luna coins, kind of expensive, but we want to force this stream. This is Abyssal Depths, because we have the fusing. There might be... You might be able to leave the fuse on the other stage 4, but I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked super, like, a lot, but it doesn't seem like it. It might also be that if you have your fusing with you, that it always goes to Abyssal Depths, but I haven't double checked it. So I'm doing it this way. And the thing you want to do straight away, once you get here with your fusing, is you want to get up here. So you can do that by using the geysers, as you can see. Ah, really? There are geysers leading up here, and once you're on this platform, you want to go over to this. You might have seen this earlier. This is another character, and I quite like this character. It's called Rex, and we're gonna play him next episode, hopefully. Well, hopefully we're gonna play him next episode. And he is really fun and really cute. It's a plant robot that deals a massive amounts of damage and has kind of a fun playstyle. He's not that mobile, he's a bit different, but goddamn is he fun. He's just fun because he deals just ridiculous amounts of damage if you get the right items. Kind of like Loader, but he deals it in a more of a drippy way, whereas Loader is very bursty. Alright, let's check the chest over here. 3.3, that's not worth it unless we get a tome. So we want to open, like, I think there was a large chest up there, right? I'm gonna look around a little bit and see if there's a tri-shop, multi-shop. Are there any good printers while we get some gold? There's 2 chests down there, bad printer, one of those buns. Just gonna try to kill one of these real quick. Maybe we even kill both. Nice, they give a lot of gold, as you can tell. We can go in there. There's some weird texture blocking the door. I think that's just because I changed some settings around. Guess we play this a bit. Nothing. Face out. I'm gonna stop playing on this then. I wanna get the achievement failing 3 times in a row. Once, twice, please. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's Gotuf. I thought Gotuf was getting movement speed. Okay. We unlocked a really good item there, by the way. One of the better ones, especially for Loader. Hopefully I'll remember to talk over it. I don't remember what items I've talked about earlier. But I mean, most of them, you'll have an easier and a better explanation if you just search the item up on the wiki as they pop up, if you don't understand how they work, right? It does say down here what it does, but it doesn't give a perfect explanation, which kind of sucks. I guess they don't want to scare you with a bunch of weird stats. I could print this. I feel like printing away the medkits would be a bad idea at this point, because we have decent damage. I mean, we have 3 rings, we have enough damage for like 1 full loop, I would say. Even going to Mithrix would be an idea here, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna grab an artifact. If we get to stage 10, maybe we'll go for him. We dropped the fuse, by the way, so we can take a lot of damage now without being too worried. It seems like... what's the portal over there? No, the portal is in the tunnels. Okay. So we're gonna open a couple of chests and then we're gonna go over there. Did I open that? I think I did, didn't I? I didn't. Last thing we picked up was fresh meat. I'm very scatterbrained right now, I'm sorry. 2 large chests. 1 gives us infusion though. Infusion, since it gives you flat HP, it's... I mean, it's not good on any character, but it's especially bad on Loader because you already have a lot of HP. and just like another 100 on top of that doesn't really change much. Might help you in some very desperate cases, but I personally feel like you should have less HP rather than a lot of HP. Especially on, you might think on characters like Huntress, you feel like Infusion is a good item because you have so little health, so you want to get more of it. When in reality, what you should be focusing on is getting a bunch of leeching instead, and just focus on healing up your health way faster, because you always have one-shot protection, right? And later on in the game, Infusion is not gonna save you from any of the one-shots. You need to get so many infusions, and you need to stack them more specifically. And stacking them takes so long. You get 1 flat HP per kill. And I'm pretty sure they might have changed this. If they have, it would be slightly better. But if you still only get 1 flat HP, no matter how many stacks of infusions you have, if you have like 10 infusions, you're gonna have to kill so many mobs to stack it up to full. You're like not gonna do that in time. Okay, my cat was making noises. I just had to make sure that it wasn't stuck somewhere. This is our second mountain shrine, I think. This is gonna be exciting. What gör du? I think she's just talking to me, honestly. Okay, since we have 2 mountain shrines, we're just gonna get the fuck out of here, because it's probably an overloading worm. It's not, it's an elite titan. Actually a challenge for us to kill these. I mean, we're loader, so hit and go. We have 3 rings, so yeah. Damage, by the way. 1 more pass through should do it. There we go. We unlock brain stalks, a very, very good item. When we get more rings, oh my god. Oh, also we got Ascendant. Okay, so that's what you do to unlock that. That's the best use item in the game right there, that we just unlocked. I didn't read exactly what we did. I think without taking damage, killing the boss or something like that, probably. It's something about the teleporter event. I noticed there was a lot of challenges. I played this game once it arrived, right? That was like 1 year or maybe even more longer ago. When I played it the most, I unlocked most of the like basic challenges. You don't have to consider a lot of them. Like once you start, you should, like, my general idea for unlocking stuff in games like this is you should start by playing it and playing it a lot. And once you start, like, you're playing it a lot and you notice that you're not unlocking a bunch of stuff, that's when you should start, like, focusing stuff. Characters, of course, you should focus targeting, especially characters like Rex, because you have to do such a specific thing in order to unlock him. Her. It's a plant. I don't know its gender. I'm sorry. You have to, like, those things you have to do, right? They don't just come naturally, but a lot of these challenges, like I did right there, for an example, where I had to kill the monster, an elite titan, right, or an elite boss monster from the portal event. That's like, that just comes as you play the game a lot, right? And as you start looping, or if you pick up mountain challenges, you should always try to risk a lot in these games. It's called Risk of Rain for a reason, right? You should try to push yourself as much as possible and try to get used. You're gonna hit a brick wall for a bit. Oh wait, we can open the legendary chest. What am I doing? You're gonna hit a brick wall. For example, when you start playing Monsoon, you're probably gonna struggle a lot. I did. Like, I never got past stage 2 for a long time. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I started looking at videos what to do, which you're probably doing at this point, right? Because you're here. And you should, like, I want to keep reaffirming this, because a lot of people I know specifically don't play some games, just because they're afraid of losing. Like, they don't play Tekken online because they don't want to lose, because for some reason that's bad. But, I mean, somebody always has to lose, right? In online games. And in roguelites like this, they're designed in a way that you're supposed to die a lot. There's achievements for dying, you know? Like, yeah, it would be super cool if you could finish the game a couple of times without dying the first time you play it, but that's not realistically gonna happen. I mean, none of the good players that play this game without dying, right? You learn via dying, so you should just accept that dying is a part of the game, and you should accept it. The same with hardcore Path of Exile, right? Or hardcore Diablo 3. The thing about playing those, you don't play hardcore in those games because you don't want to die. You play those games because you want to die, right? But you want to stop it as much as possible. You wanna, it makes the game more challenging. It makes it more, your heart beats more, because oh, by the way, I'm just gonna go for the artifact and we're gonna skip this stage here. I might mess myself up for the next stage, but that's fine. I just want to get this artifact right now. So you go down here, you can drop down, I'll show you. Sometimes this hole right here is open, sometimes it's not, but you can always just do this. You see this area here, this is sometimes open, but you can always just jump down here. And some monsters go down here, some don't. I don't remember. You can look, there are these stone thingies, they're hidden, one on each map, and they all have a password. I haven't searched for them. I found two. I found this one and I found the one on Abyssal Depths. Apparently they're kind of fun to search for, but I'm gonna do that after I've found out, after I've unlocked everything. Like I said, I already unlocked everything on my main thing. I might search for them on this save actually, but I'm not sure if that's like actually fun to watch. If you wanna like get some things going, if you're stuck in this game and you don't know what to do, you should unlock the command artifact, and it's this. I'm gonna spoil it for you, so you should look away. I'm not gonna say what I put in here, but I'll look at it, right? It's this. If you don't want to spoil anything else, you should just spoil this one, I would say. And then you just activate it. Don't look yet if you don't want to get it spoiled. Alright, and spoilers over. And once you do that, you get this portal here. And if you enter this portal, you can do this to skip this stage entirely. The smartest way, I would say, is if you have a decent build like I had right now, you can farm this stage a bit, do the enter that password, and then do the portal event. And instead of going through the portal, you wanna head down and go through this artifact portal. So you do the main stage, right? You start the stage, you go down, you put in the password, and you activate the portal. And instead of going into this stage right away, you complete stage 5, and then you go in here instead of going to Mithrix or looping. And that way you get like your best possible run, right? There's a book down here. It's always down here, even if you unlock it. Oh, apparently that was an achievement, collecting 10 of those books. Good. It's always there, even if you've unlocked it. But it's you only need to gather one of them, I'm pretty sure. I think there's like 16 artifacts. And the stages they have different names, the stages. We take no fall damage because we're low there, so we're fine. I messed up. The goal is to kill mobs, and they'll drop this artifact key. As you can see, it did there, but it dropped it through the map. And I'll show you once one drops. You just want to do the same thing I did. Oh yeah, and whatever artifact you're trying to unlock here will be activated. So we have the command artifact. Right now, we're trying to unlock the command artifact. And, okay, wait, I'm all over the place. We're in the artifact stage. There's a yellow thing here, as you could see, I picked it up earlier. You want to take that to the middle. Once you do that, the event starts. The event is monsters spawn, right? You want to kill the monsters, and the monsters have a chance of dropping another artifact key. You can't hit this thing. You want to kill this thing, but you can't hit it. You want to turn in the artifact keys, and you get those by killing monsters. Whatever artifact you're trying to unlock is in effect during this event. The current artifact we're trying to unlock is the command artifact, which makes it so that you get to choose whatever item that drops, right? So we're opening chests, and as you can see, it drops white items. However, we can select what white item we want from this. And I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't want to die doing this. We're strong enough so that we don't have to bother. The command artifact, you can whatever artifact you unlock. Oh my god, we're almost done. Whatever artifact you unlock, you can select once you have it and play the entire run with it. You can have multiple artifacts on at the same time too. So this is the command artifact. You get to pick whatever items you get. I usually, when I went to focus on unlocking stuff fast, what I did was I used this command artifact. There is one artifact that makes all of the enemies on a stage the same enemy always. And here we go, we get another artifact key here. There is one that doubles the monster spawns, but they have half HP, so bosses are... There's 2 bosses, but they have half HP. Any stone titan that spawns is gonna have half HP, but there's 2 of them, etc, etc. And then there's another artifact that makes removes all of the chests from the maps, but monsters instead drop items. So you get a lot more monsters on the stage, and there's only one type of them. I would say it's harder if there's only one type of monsters, because sometimes you get like... You get fucked by there only being a bunch of chain gun guys, for an example, right? But if you get a stage where there's just a lot of beetle guards, it's kind of easy. So that one, take that one at your own risk. But command artifact for sure just makes focusing specific stuff a lot easier, because you pick your build, right? The game becomes pretty much a joke, especially if you're playing with chests. Because you just get good items all of the time, right? This game is balanced around you not always having optimal items. So if you have optimal items, the game just becomes super easy. I mean, that's fine, right? It's fine to have an easy mode if you want it, especially because a lot of the unlocks are just annoying to get, like not fun. For an example, Mithrix is not very fun. There are a couple of ways to make him easier without using artifacts, like looping or just playing a really strong character and just getting really good loot luck, right? But since I'm doing this, since I'm recording this, and since I've already killed him once personally, I don't really feel like I need to do that achievement again. It would be kind of cool to show you, but you've seen like the fights I've had. They're not very interesting to watch, right? Unless you have really good items, you have to do a lot of kiting and a lot of cheesing. So what we're gonna do instead is we're just gonna use the command artifact to just get really good items and just steamroll him, which can be fun too, right? Especially if you struggled on that boss a lot. If you just steamroll him, it just feels super good. One problem with this stage is that sometimes they refuse to drop the artifact keys. If you have lucky clovers, there's a higher chance of them dropping. But if you don't, well, good luck. We want to kill monsters. I also don't like that there's jellyfishes here, because they're annoying to kill. They kill themselves sometimes. I'm not sure if specific monsters have higher drop rates. I feel like these harder to kill monsters drop them more often. But that's not always the case. Oh yeah, we got potted plant earlier. A lot of people dislike potted plant. I feel like it's a pretty decent item. As long as you like are killing mobs, right? Like, I feel like if you only have one healing item and you don't have full crit, potted plant is probably the way to go. I feel like it's better than leashing seeds, right? And bustling fungus. And you only need one potted plant in order for it to be strong, right? Which, I mean, hopefully, because it's a fucking red item, right? Okay, I guess I'll show you this now. Actually, no, we're almost dying. Is there really no... They can drop multiple keys, by the way, so you don't have to worry about one dropping off the map and them not dropping anymore. It's just, we're just having really bad luck right now. It happens from time to time on this stage. Sounded like a drop, but the music overpowered it. There was nothing. This will open more chests. That yellow light from my pylon keeps making me think there's a drop there, and the yellow light from the beetle guards too. Gonna wait for... Oh, that dropped it. That was kind of risky, by the way, don't do that. There we go, this is the final one. Here we go. Unlock this. It's gonna hang here. Once you defeat the boss, the mobs despawn. And there we go, now we have it. We can die now, it doesn't matter. We will still have it. We're gonna unlock a couple of things here. I guess we're gonna grab crit, because crit is good. Maybe a couple of medkits actually. I'm gonna do fine even if I don't have crit right now. Healing is what's gonna be bothersome. And actually medkits aren't that good if you're looping because of the enemies that's gonna start spawning. Which we'll get into right now. I missed a chest, that's fine. It's probably a red item, no problem. Oh yeah, and you can't use command artifact to pick items that you haven't unlocked yet, of course, but it should be given. Oh yeah, we unlocked the chain hook. Probably the best red item, maybe. I mean, most of the red items depend on other red items, so probably not, because you require chain hook requires you to have a bunch of other stuff in order for it to be good. But it really helps you with the chain procs and just chaining kills. You'll understand once we get it. I don't want to spoil it too much. Just know that we're happy about that unlock right there. Oh yeah, and once you start looping, as you can see, we're on stage 1 again. Oh god. We got Malachited there. There's a new elite mob. As you can see, these green spikes, they remove your... you can't heal once you have this debuff you get by passing through these or by being hit by one of these attacks. Also, once you start looping, you get new enemies on earlier stages. This is bothersome. So we get hermit crabs on stage 1, for an example. There's actually an achievement we can do with the hermit crabs on this stage specifically, and I'm thinking that we're probably gonna snipe it. It's gonna take a while, so I'm sorry in advance, but it's kind of what we have to do. Actually, maybe we'll wait a bit with it. Maybe we'll do it in another loop, just because I kind of wanna go for obliteration here. We need to push 20 of these down the chasm, the edge. I feel like Loader's probably a bad character to do it on. And it's gonna take a long time if we do it. You unlock a really good item doing it, but it's not needed, really. I feel like we can do well without that item. That item can make runs ridiculously easy. So we're just gonna wait with that until we get either a better loop or once we have a couple of other artifacts. I'm specifically thinking about the artifact that forces you to only get one type of monster per stage. We can, if you really want to chase it and unlock it as fast as possible, you get the artifact that forces one monster type, and the artifact that makes monsters appears on new stages. We almost died there. I'm pretty sure that makes it so that you can get hermit crabs on stage 1. Although I'm not certain. You might have to loop for it. Oh, we get rings again. We're ridiculously strong. It's the ice bands too. Good. We deal a lot of damage. We just need some kind of better way of healing. The main issue with having medkits as a healing item right now is that if we get hit by Malachite, the Malachite is gonna eat up the medkit proc. But then again, I can't really see. I mean, on harvest site would be kind of good here, but we don't deal a lot of crits. Even if we have 100% crit chance, we're just gonna hit everything once instead of hitting everything a lot of times, like something that Huntress or Commander would do. So, I mean, we have potted plant, so I guess we're fine. You just need to kind of stay inside for a bit. Once you start looping like this, you can start slowing down a bit. You want to full clear a little bit more. You shouldn't spend too much time, but at this point you should have enough mobility so that you should be able to just pass through the stage quickly once at least. The longer time, like time still scales enemies, even though it says it's on ha 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 all of the time. The time still scales it, and stages still scales it. So we're gonna start running into new enemy types, and you're gonna run into new elites and stuff like that. So you still wanna keep that in mind, but items is what's gonna carry you here, not levels. You're not gonna get too many more levels, honestly. So we just wanna take a quick look through. Might wanna scrap, honestly. I guess we could scrap stuff like fresh meat. We don't want to stay still for too long because we have a bunch of hermit crabs shooting. Regular hermit crabs aren't too bad. It's when they're malachites that it's scary. Malachites and Celestines are the new elites, and they both get way more HP. Like a Celestine or a Malachite elite has more HP than the teleporter boss most of the time. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna scrap the daggers. We're gonna scrap banner. We're gonna scrap bustling. We do have a harvest site. I don't recognize picking that up. We're gonna scrap infusion. We're gonna keep Chatterspleen because, I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't really proc it that often, but when we do, it's gonna escalate our damage a bit. And that's gonna be it. We don't want to spend too much time. We have more time than we have on our regular stage 1, but we still wanna be a bit faster. What's that? Backup mag. I could print like one. Would be fine, I guess. It's better than having a bunch of scrap, I guess. I could print rusted keys, but I don't care enough. in order to make time to do that. 1. Here we go. We're gonna go for the Shrine over here of Chance. I started playing Shrines of Chance a lot more. I feel like they're a gamble, right? And especially on the early stages, you shouldn't play them more than once. And that's only if you unlocked every other chest in your vicinity. I could get a bunch of teddy bears. Yeah, I should probably do that. That's better than greeding. And you don't want to hold on to scrap too much. Like, yeah, it would be very good if you found a medkit printer, or tri-tip if you're playing another character or whatever, but as soon as you find anything that's like decent, like teddy bears or sticky bombs, or... I mean, I would say attack speed is pretty good. You should print it on most characters. I wouldn't print it on this character, of course. I would say scrap is worth more, but you need to remember that scrap doesn't do much. And there's a chance that you'd never see a good printer for the rest of your run. The printer you see, like that stun grenade printer right there, might be the last printer I ever see. That might have been the only printer on this stage. Then I should have printed stun grenades, right? Instead of just sticking with my scrap and hoping for something better. Unless you're going for Mithrix, because you can just do the scrap cheese there, right? Yeah, and this is gonna happen sometimes too. Like, we have lens maker glasses. I would way rather have those than teddy bears, probably. Then again, we deal so much damage, so maybe not. I feel like teddy bears is... We already have 40... What's that? 45% crit chance? Yeah. We already have 50 actually, because we have Shatterspleen. And I mean, more would be good. We're almost dead here. We just have to stay away for a bit, not greed too much. We want to kill a mob here so that we get potted plant. Jump around a bit. I guess it didn't proc. There it goes. It takes some time. And once we have that, we're healed to full. We're gonna grab a monster tooth necklace here. This is the guy that almost killed us, by the way. They're very scary. These guys are... Stone Titans are also very scary when they're elites. Never underestimate them. Especially overloading ones. I don't really like this stage. We have a lot of good chests here though, so I guess we're gonna take them. Razor Wire, the boss doesn't use it. If the boss takes it, we get so many rings this round. This is so good. The Mithrix fight, when he steals your item, he doesn't take Razor Wire, and he doesn't take the teddy bears either. Best friend, right? Tougher Times, that's what they're called, Tougher Times. I keep mixing them up with the Dio's best friend. So you can stack them how many as you want, and they're useless once the boss takes them, so that's fine. You don't have to be scared about that, like I was earlier. Oh yeah, next stage we unlock the skin. Nice. Dun, dun, dun. I'm really glad we went on this loader run. We got a lot of stuff done. Even if we die here, I'm completely fine. It would kind of suck, but we're done very good so far. We've gotten like 4 or 5 achievements, I think. And of course every achievement is an unlock in the game, so... This is kind of scary. Stealth kit, very good. Underrated item, I feel like. Gives you some grace period whenever you take a bunch of damage. Especially on loader, because you're dealing damage. Like on, if you're... I'm pretty sure that if you deal damage, you get put out of stealth. But since you're dealing damage only in specific periods with loader, unless your Runel's bound proc, right? Then that might remove your stealth, but that would be kind of bad. But other than that, like, you're pretty safe. Like, you get some breathing room, you get time for your medkits to proc, you can reposition, etc, etc. We're just gonna go to the next stage. I'm not too worried about items. I picked that gold nugget up too early there. We have like a ridiculous amount of rings. I think we have 10 total. So we're just fucking steamrolling everything. Also, we've been recording for a very long time, but this is the final stage, so we're fine. There's a malachite down there. You wanna try to focus malachites, because those are the run enders. And you have to consider Celestines, the large area you see here. Any other monsters that's in that area is invisible. And that will hide, it won't hide the spikes, but it will hide the malachite monster, for an example, or overloading monsters, right? So you need to be very scared when approaching those. Ow, we might die here. That would kind of suck. I think we're fine. And yeah, that's malachite for you. We didn't get our proc. I haven't had a use item this entire run. That's kind of bad, but I guess we're doing fine. Bandroll here, not that, I mean, it's okay, but I don't feel like it procs that often. I feel like you need a couple of bandroll here in order for it to be useful, and I don't want to risk any of the rings. I mean, we have one green scrap, and this is the last stage, so I guess we'll pick one up. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go for the boss here. I don't feel like any time spent on this stage is gonna make this any easier. We could get a red item, yeah, sure, but probably not. That was a elite stone titan that shot us, by the way. If one-shot protection wasn't a thing, we would have been one-shotted. And that's playing this very tanky character. Okay, I need to start dealing with stuff. I can't just keep running away. One-shotted it. This was the dude that almost killed us. So I'm gonna focus him over the bosses. The bosses aren't really that big of a priority. The only scary thing about Dune Striders is when they start sucking. But since we're dealing so much damage, they're not gonna really do that anyways. Elite cows are kind of scary, but should be fine. As long as we don't get hit by malachite, I don't really see us dying. Finish the boss off. We got hit by malachite. All of the healing disappeared, so we wanna get the fuck away. Cut down, defeat 500 elite monsters. We unlock the guillotine. Not as good as it was once in this game's lifetime, but it's still a good unlock. Kill this. We're gonna stay up here and wait cooldowns for a bit. Don't see what the boss dropped. Razor wire, okay. We don't really need to risk anything going for that. It doesn't really matter too much, but we're close anyways. There's Celestine here. I'm not sure if it hides lasers. So we might want to just kind of kill that guy so that we can see the rest of the monsters. And now we want to kill some of the cows. Not too worried about the lesser wisps at this stage. They don't deal that much damage. If there were any overloading wisps, I would try to focus them. Or any fire elites, lesser wisps, I would focus them. But other than that, I'm not really too scared. Stage is almost done. And once you're at this stage, you get this Celestine portal. This is guaranteed whenever you complete this stage, and you enter this. Then you get taken to this stage here. This is a jumping puzzle. It's gonna be very annoying when we have a bunch of beetles appearing everywhere. There's no monsters on this stage. You're like, once you're here, you're fine. You can't really die on this stage unless something bugs out. You're supposed to do this jumping puzzle via jumping on these appearing rocks. I don't think they disappear. Even if you fall down, you can't die to fall damage. So you should be fine. I'm loader, so I'm just gonna choose this. And you want to go over here. If you enter this area by mistake, if you go up here, this portal will appear. If you take this, you go back and keep playing the game. Or you can obliterate using this. And you want to do this at least once, because when you do this, you get a couple of achievements. So I think once we press continue, we're gonna get it. We got so many unlocks this map. Good. There you go. We get a skin. You get the skin for every character. You get the skin via either killing Mithrax on Monsoon or obliterating on Monsoon. And we also unlock this character. Okay, since we've been recording for a very long time, I'm gonna end the episode here. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.